Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
What's up?
It's been a while.
Since I sent a hurry. Days back from vacation.
Oh, here. You see, I knew it. Knew right away.
Hey, man.
One of those is my fault. One of those is my fault.
All right.
Where were you?
I was in a couple places.
Where in the world?
I was in Austria for 4 days. I tried to visit up and meet up with Low Rate actually, but it didn't work out due to some flooding. So we couldn't meet up for a beer or two. But then I went to Germany and was in Munich for Oktoberfest.
Oh, that's a good guy. Does he know we're doing WoW right now?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Austria was like underwater. It was not there was the whole middle of the country apparently was having massive flooding issues due to some snow melt and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
dude, you're probably the last of his worries right now.
Well, I'm having chat. Chat, you got to reach out, man. Someone reach out to Low Rate and check on him, dude.
He's doing good. I was chatting with him a bunch while I was over there. He's doing pretty good. He just couldn't make it.
I was worried about you, Mark Shrum, because wasn't there a flood near you?
Yeah, dude, out west, real bad, man.
Real
like
bad.
a spot we go out to the mountains. Yeah, that place is gone.
Oh,
that place is gone. So yeah, it's definitely spooky out yonder. Didn't affect anything here, but good wife Alexandra collected some donations from friends and family and sent out a bunch of like care packages out that way yonder, help out the community, which is
holding it down for the community too, huh?
Very nice.
Love to see it. The subathon.
Yeah,
good lady.
Good lady.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Austria and in North Carolina, and I know there was a couple other places that got hit.
I think Georgia got hit pretty hard too. Stay safe, people.
Hold your head up.
Stay safe.
But other than that, why don't we get right into this bad boy?
We got Abe.
All right, well, real quick, I want to pose a hypothetical to you before
we
get into this, because something happened on my trip on the way home.
Okay.
And I want to know what your guys' stance on it. We've talked travel etiquette before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on my first flight, a connecting flight, I was doing carry-ons, and apparently my carry-on and my wife's carry-on, they were not the correct size for Lufthansa. They were too big. So when, they didn't stop us though at any of the gates or anything. They let us on the plane. We had a little bit of an earlier boarding group. So when I went to put them in, I couldn't put them in long ways, so I turned them on their side. So I'm taking up
more
a
space.
good amount of real estate in the overhead bin.
They didn't have the little thing out front. You know, they got the little square, little juicer. Like, does it fit in the square?
Supposed to have the little thing.
They were slacking on the checks here. I mean, I made it through everything, right?
Okay.
I put them up there. Plane gets fully boarded towards the end. People are struggling to find room. They start bitching about the ones that are turned sideways in the overhead bin. So at that point, I'm frozen and I'm staring at my wife with and all I'm saying with my eyes is, "Don't you fucking say a thing." We sit here, we pretend that's not us until the time comes to get off the plane. We grab them and we go. What are you doing in that situation?
If you get
you
there,
apologize? Or I mean,
I would assume they're just gonna go, "Oh, no one wants to confess. All right, then we're just gonna take them off the plane and we're good to go." And then Abe goes, "No, it's mine. Never mind."
It was never a flight attendant.
Would you have sacrificed that?
Just other passengers. Yeah.
So the issue was that I had an hour and a half layover, and we were already delayed an hour. I almost missed that flight. We got delayed an hour and an hour and a half layover. My bags are not making it on that plane if I don't carry them on anyway. So I was not willing to sacrifice anything at that point. So I'm like, I got to get off this thing. I got to rip it to the next gate.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to stay silent. I'm going to stay steadfast and say nothing and just let these people eat one on the chin.
Yeah.
Well, what happened though? Can you, before I tell
I'm pretty sure a couple of people had to check their bags because there wasn't any room.
If your bag's not gonna make it, if that's the situation, then that's the kicker that makes the difference for me. I'm being quiet. I'm staying silent. If I'm like really gonna lose my bag, that's brutal, right? This takes days, and you got to go back to the airport once it's like located and like, you know what I mean? It's just so it's a pain in the ass, man. And if those dudes have to check their bag for free at the gate, and they're fine, bro.
They are fine. And here's the thing: everyone's got their universal carry-on bag. You know, like I don't switch my carry-on bag.
Me neither.
I've collected data. This one fits. I haven't run into a plane where it does not fit.
Correct.
When that day comes, I'm probably gonna do what you're doing, and then I still won't change my bag after.
Well,
that.
that's the thing. I've never had a problem with this. Like,
Yeah.
You gonna downsize, Abe?
No, I'm not going to down. You paid a lot of money for this luggage. I
Oh.
forget the brand. It's some fancy brand that's got like a charger in it that I'm never allowed to bring anyway.
Of course it is.
Because if you put a battery in it, then you're like you can't
Lithium
carry it on anyway.
battery.
Yeah. So I never have the battery in it anyway. I don't know why I paid for it, but
I mean, if it was gonna be like well, first of all, they checked, everyone was fine. If anything happened, I would have been like, well, then it's just staying in my lap, guys. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not checking it. Then they probably would have kicked you off.
it was an hour flight. Yeah, I would have probably gotten thrown off. Yeah.
But yeah, they checked their bag. I probably would have done the same thing, dude.
Yeah, I felt
They were too
I
late.
did feel bad.
If you're not showing up, an
Early
hour
bird gets the
early,
worm, dude.
if you're not showing up an hour early, getting in line, and then awkwardly just standing there, not too close in line, because you don't want to block the. You got your
Yeah.
you got
gotta
your
wait
area.
for your group. You gotta wait for your group.
No, well, no, you give it one go, and if they tell you that's not your group, then you wait for your group. But I'm a chronic group 3 boarder.
Oh
Group
my.
1, they know I'm not in group 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Then you don't go group 2 because there's only 2 people in group 2.
Group
Mhm.
2 is I don't know
What is group 2? No one knows.
don't know.
There's 2 people that make it, so I'm
Yeah.
not going in that group. Group 3, a lot of people in group 3. That's when I
Now,
slide
Can you
in.
get the pre-boarding? Disability pre-boarding?
I got the disability pre-boarding once, but
Love you.
I'm not. I don't need
Yeah.
to do that.
I'm just saying you could.
You could. You could.
I mean,
when you
put that
go-
extra chromie to work, bro.
Let it be. Let it be known. When you go group 3, don't go in the front and don't wait too long. Feel it out. Let about 5,
gotta get
6
in the
people
middle. You
go.
gotta
Get
blend
right in the
in, yeah.
middle and go.
All right.
And don't make. Hey, how's it going? Beep. Walk.
I was
Don't-
already group 3 though. We
If
had
they
staff.
if they say anything, you keep walking. They don't want to hold up the line, guys.
No.
They want to keep it going. Just keep it going. That's how you get group 3 every time. Don't clip that because then I'll get. Don't clip
Yeah.
that. Just
I'm about to be on a no-fly list, bro.
and for you. I did get pulled to TwitchCon. I got an X on my passport, and they gave me a check on the side. I wonder why.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. You got profiled. What's up?
Random selection. I'm looking to the left and right of me. There's just 2 white guys that didn't get picked.
Yes,
Random, sir. Random check.
Re-
Step over here for me.
red beard.
Random.
Right on through.
Right on through. One of them, though, I didn't have to go through the super cancer machine. I got to go through the little cancer machine for some reason.
It's
That's
just
the
a
first
little
time
cancer. Trish, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Tell your mom to be fine. So that was nice. I got to go through the little one. But
Nice.
what other airport hacks are there? Exit seat is fire. If you guys can get an exit seat, that's
You gotta pay for them now.
yeah, you do have to pay for them. If you get an exit row seat, if you're on an American, there's an exit row seat that doesn't have a seat in front of it.
Correct.
So you get leg room galore, and unfortunately, I have to put both of my bags up there. So I get to put both of my
Yeah.
bags up there.
Yeah, but I like keeping a bag with me.
you
'cause
can
then
you can pull it back down.
Where am I gonna
But
have my
when
snack?
you
Yeah,
take
but
off.
you got to go back and forth, and you can't
Yeah, but
rock
it's
the
right
air.
next to me because I'm a group 3, baby.
I'm a window seat guy.
That is the
I'm an
window
aisle
seat.
guy. I'm an
You
aisle guy.
step up and
Oh,
you
you got
walk it
plenty
through
of.
your extra
Yeah, you
seat,
did
and
the
then you
whole.
walk out,
Right.
dude.
Yeah. All right. I hear you.
Yeah, where do you
And
get?
I'm
Where do you
group
keep your
3, my
snacks?
bags are right there.
Where do you keep your snacks?
Yeah, you don't have a
bring
table.
You don't
You
bring
can
some
pull-
gummy bears or something.
Were you
There's a-
propping
there's
up? Were you propping up your
There's
tablet?
a thing. No, there's a thing. It comes up and it folds right over your lap.
Oh, you guys.
you
You know what I
you
just
good.
was reminded of?
what?
I watched half a season of the Samurai show on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Shogun.
Shogun? Yeah.
I was in that area. I wasn't in that seat specifically.
Okay.
It had extra leg room. It was nice, but I forgot I watched it all together, and I have half a season left.
Okay.
But I'm not even gonna remember the show by the time the subathon's over. I'm screwed.
You got to rewatch it.
Mhm.
I think I might do like a YouTube recap and just right where I'm like, I don't know this. I click out.
It's not a bad
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
That's
why
probably not bad, right?
Yeah, but you have to make sure you get a guy that's gonna do
Yeah.
it. Very good.
There's some slummy explainers out there on the
what
YouTube
does that
recap.
even mean, dude?
And well, it's like they're all over the place. They're skipping some steps here and there, and you know,
No.
all right.
No.
Hey, what do we got going on in the world, man?
What's going on, dude?
All right, let's jump in for real. We got some angry gamers this week, and I agree with them. So let's roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Mad as hell, bro.
And they should be. So we get to this is like my mecca right now, right? We got all the things that I hate all combined into one here. And,
hell yeah.
That's because there's been a game that we've talked about a little bit on this podcast in the past that just released not too long ago by the name of Star Wars Outlaws, and that's produced by a company called Ubisoft. And Star Wars Outlaws, predictably, as predicted multiple times on this podcast, did not launch to very good results. They, quote unquote, failed to meet their sales expectations, which I think is a good way of saying it's a steaming pile of shit, but that's maybe my opinion. But as a result of that, you would think, this is like the third big flop in a row for them with Skull and Bones, XDefiant, and now Star Wars Outlaws. That Ubisoft might take this time to self-reflect and really focus on the issues.
Dude, they're gonna blame some random shit. I can't wait.
Exactly. So I'll give you the exact quote.
It's the global climate, bro.
So
what do you say?
Their CEO, which I believe is Yves Guillemot, came out and said, making solid games isn't enough when you have gamers expecting something extraordinary. Gamers expecting extraordinary experiences, Ubisoft CEO says after Star Wars Outlaws. They then went to add that it is delivering a solid quality is no longer enough.
So they're complaining that gamers are holding them to a high standard?
Absolutely. Not only that, Slum, that gamers have too high of expectations, and that if you don't deliver extraordinary games and just simply solid games, that's not enough to meet gamers' expectations.
He realizes that we're not comparing it to Elden Ring or BG3. Like
I don't think he does.
It doesn't compare to N64 game quality, bro. It was a broken piece of shit.
I'm curious what he thinks a solid game is. If he thinks his game is solid.
Well, I don't think they know anymore. They
Superman 64
game in forever.
That's his favorite game. That's stunning, dude.
What was their sales expectations then? They said they didn't meet sales expectations.
It was at least they put like 15-20 mil into the project, more than that. I forget. What was the number, Abe? Do you have any idea?
I can look at the budget for
I think that's what I remember.
They had to buy the IP, so
yeah, this was after buying the IP, just for development, because they pay Star Wars to have rights to create games for Star Wars, and then they're like, okay, here we go, type deal.
So it looks like the general consensus is that between licensing, development and marketing, their budget was between 200 and 300 million.
Yeah.
They've sold 1 million copies, and that gives them, they needed a break-even point of about 5.5 million units. So they're very far behind.
Oh, they're not going to hit it. I mean, they're taking a loss, guaranteed.
Yep.
I mean, I would love to see the breakdown for licensing. I think it's a huge part of it. Because the development, obviously, they didn't spend very long because they just bought these rights for the IP. And so to develop a game from scratch to like what it is now is like a very short amount of time. There's no wonder it's a piece of shit game and completely uninspired. They didn't actually have an idea or concept for what they wanted to create when they bought the Star Wars IP.
Well,
and they're just like, how fast can we make good on this investment?
This was the classic Gigacorp take of let's buy an IP that's popular, let's make a steamy pile of shit based on the IP and rake money in off of the fans.
Is there any games that buy a big successful IP and have a great game? Like I remember that Gollum game was pretty solid. Right? Besides that, did anyone else do it successfully? Like what other games are big IPs?
It's super rare, man.
It is rare.
Almost always does it flop.
Then why do they do it?
Because it's part of their risk aversion. Because they think that, I mean, and they're right to an extent. Like they're half right.
They can
if you
guarantee
bought
like 1 million copies being sold.
if that wasn't Star Wars and it was just a random IP, they wouldn't have sold 100,000 copies. It's
Yeah.
the reason they hit a mill, for sure.
Correct.
So I mean, to an extent, they're right. It's it's the hook for purchase. But if you get, less than 2 hours in and you realize, hey, this game's a piece of shit, you return it. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like watching a YouTube short. You get a couple of seconds in, you're hooked. Okay. You get a little deeper. You're like, oh, well, I regret clicking into this. Next. It's bad, man. Like, so that's all it is. The IP is the hook.
This is filled with all the classic examples too of like predatory pre-purchase pricing, DLC that existed
Early
before
access,
the game launched.
yep.
Early access. It's
Brutal.
just a bunch of garbage. And then I found this. This is actually a pretty cool little clip by the Pirate Nation. I always like the stuff that they put out on Twitter. And we don't even really need the sound, so I'll turn the sound off. But this is a comparison just to show you how shitty this game is of the AI learning in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I think came out in 2013.
Wait, learning or just the NPC actions?
Well, just the NPC actions, I should say. Its ability to like recognize things going on in game.
Sure.
And we'll skip ahead a little bit because the big thing here that I want to show is he starts to run and hide in the bushes. Yeah. And this thing's not stupid. It saw him run in the bushes, so it chases him down. Right? He'll go from bush to bush. These are considered cover in the game that you could usually hide in. Nope. It's all you run in. It's going to keep reacting. So this is the same studio and their game in 2013. And if we cut ahead to get to Star Wars, right? It doesn't recognize the same. It's the same thing. They have no idea where he went.
That's hilarious, dude.
They run in, he's going to beat the shit out of the next one, and then they're all going to be like, "Oh, I wonder where he is."
So you don't think that was a conscious decision on their end?
Absolutely not, man. It undermines gameplay like a million times over. This is actually super reminiscent of The Last of Us. That's exactly what would happen. Like you just re-prone in the bush, and they're like, "Oh, where'd he go?"
Yeah, I mean, like this is the same company, probably utilizing basically the same form of the engine, just a little bit more advanced.
But it looks great though, huh?
It doesn't look that good. I'll be honest, only because the window's that small. It doesn't look like a next gen game by any sense. So they didn't capture me with like the visual aesthetic. Every ounce of gameplay I've seen is horrifying. It's just absolutely horrifying. Super uninspired. I mean, just everything that is wrong with gaming industry in 2024. Absolutely ass. So anyway,
is the play? I'm so confused because I feel like we're always seeing these developers with these types of takes. So is this the play to a certain extent?
To just shirk responsibility, pretend everything's okay. Well, they're answering to a boardroom of people who also don't understand. So if they can claim that they're not being negligent and that the industry is just super volatile right now, then they think they're going to get away with it. It's not for our sake they're saying it. They know we're going to call them jackasses for saying something like that. It's for that boardroom.
It's to save face with the boardroom.
Yes, 100%.
But investors don't want to hear, "Oh, they weren't happy with a solid game." They don't care.
I'm telling you right now, it's the same thing that happens in like an ad agency. Oh yeah, the client, they were shit. They didn't know what they wanted. Blah 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 blah, and like that's why they're unhappy, right? Like the account manager is like playing that game, and it's just to save face. It may not necessarily be true.
But that's not. But who accepts that? Like, remember when me and Alex had
bad at a company touch, or
me and Alex had a client, and we were like, "This client's wild."
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I want to do my best to make them happy, and I'll go above and beyond. But like, it wasn't enough for me just to be like, this client is absurd. Like they don't know what they want, blah blah blah. Like that's not acceptable in my opinion. Like you have to go as far as you can go, and then maybe it's still not acceptable. It just is what it is. So for a boardroom to be like, okay, I accept that people don't know what a solid game is anymore. You guys tried your hardest.
But
it's their fault. Like, I don't think that's
when
reality.
you're 3 games in a row of just pure failure, it's the only explanation outside of ignorance that could save face. It's the industry. It's the gamers right now. They expect too much. You don't understand. The game came out around Elden Ring DLC and Baldur's Gate 3 and all these games. They had, twice as long or 3 times as long of a development cycle, and that's why they created something better. Not, hey, we're incompetent assholes.
It didn't work this time though, Marcus. Here's my favorite part of all of this.
I can't wait.
That
hit me.
Ubisoft's board, because of not only this failure, but as I noted, the failures of XDefiant and Skull and Bones. They have launched an internal investigation into the operations at Ubisoft because they're sick and tired. Because I don't know if you've looked at the Ubisoft stock price recently, but it is in the toilet after this release. So the stock price is getting hurt. So this might finally, this is what we needed to have happen for change
100%
to actually occur here.
Clean house,
they needed
bro.
to hit their bottom line. Yeah. And now they're going to do an internal investigation, and they've delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows additional time because they would like to, quote unquote, get it right.
The 27th iteration of a title that has been milked dry 10 years ago. Yeah. That one? All right.
Yeah. Well, and that's also got its own slew of issues. I mean, it's got its own controversies that you've probably seen
no doubt
going on. But in addition to that, they admitted that the big controversy has to do with like a swap of the main character, and they actually just admitted that they swapped the race of the main character to take advantage of the current climate. They admitted that finally, and it happened well into the development cycle. So that game's cooked too, and that's not gonna do well either. So they're gonna probably have a 4th failure.
Like people have to quote unquote admit to that. It's not just obvious in most of these games.
Before it was that was never, they refused to admit that was the reason they did what they did, and they finally have come out and said, yeah, that is why we did it.
Okay, wow, dude, I'm shocked. That's crazy.
Yeah, Ubisoft hasn't made a single good game since Black Flag. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they put out.
That was 13 years ago, right? That was the game that you just showed us.
2013.
Correct. 2013. So
2013. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, 11 years ago. It's been 11 years since I made a good game. I mean, you could argue Rainbow Six Siege is a good game, but just grossly mismanaged. I think that's probably fair.
I'm telling you, I think when these companies get I've seen companies much smaller than Ubisoft have projects that no one knows about. So like, if it fails, you don't say anything.
Say nothing.
No one knows. And then when the bottom line is, when they're like, dude, we're doing bad, we should maybe audit this company, then it comes out. But other than that, like, these guys who lead these projects, half of them are probably, they text their team and they go, don't say anything. Just keep going. In a couple months, we'll start on something else. But just stay in the shadows for now.
And a lot of the time, too, it's just like, let the mill churn so that we can all just keep our jobs.
Yeah.
And eventually maybe we'll make something dope.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's what Tarkov was. 3rd iteration of a game of a studio that, very few people knew about. It was pretty niche. They refused to go onto Steam, so no one could review bomb them or tell them that their game was bad or understand that the game player base went down to 0 after every wipe. Like, there was just literally 0 accountability. They had full control of everything because they made their own launcher. Smartest thing they ever did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to a certain extent, they know what they're doing, dude.
They're just going for the next title. Every ounce of development is for the single player aspect. They ignore multiplayer because their next title's single. Simple. So that they can reuse every asset that they are developing right now for the next thing.
They do know what they're doing. It's very smart.
It's a hamster wheel. It's a well-made hamster wheel, man. Crazy.
Speaking of hamster wheels.
And Nikita's a rodent. What?
Speaking of hamster wheels.
What do you got?
We're making a commercial right now.
Yeah.
It's for solar.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a quick one. And it goes: there's 2 guys sitting on the side of their street drinking lemonade in their lawn chairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look over at Bob across the street, and he's running on a hamster wheel with his family next to him, just watching him, and he's powering his house. And then it goes back to the 2 guys. He goes, why doesn't Bob just go solar?
I like that.
Gigantic hamster wheel, Bob running on it. And I might make a version where the kid's running on it too, and Bob's just gassed next to the hamster wheel. Hey, keep it up. Just a couple more minutes.
Hands on his knees.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. But Ubisoft, I'm not surprised, dude. I'm not surprised. Everyone's got to, what's the saying when they got to answer to something eventually? I know that's a saying I've heard before. I just
Pay the
forget how
piper.
it goes. Got to pay the piper eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, this is business, man. Like, you can take advantage of the culture and all this other stuff going on right now, but eventually, man, shareholders want their money.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, it's sooner than later. So they have the luxury right now that they could kind of write off no profits just yet because they can blame it on certain things. But, dude, money talks. So if you're laying low because your project was crap, I suggest not doing that. I suggest owning up to it and getting better from that. That's it, dude. If you hide, then you ain't gonna learn.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of accountability. There's no doubt. Really, what it comes down to. So, yeah, away she goes. Unfortunate. And again, I think an aspect that people don't think about a lot of the time too is like they're so good at laying low and hiding and shirking responsibility that these jobs are way more stable, and so they end up slurping up a lot of talented developers that still get put and like trapped in dog shit projects. And so it makes it so that less people are out there trying to take the risk and like be their own, guide to try and like make it work for themselves in some sort of indie studio. It's
They're just
it's their own
shelving good developers.
for sure. There's ton like and that happens all the time. Is like a bunch of devs working really hard and they're just pressed to the clock because of the marketing team and the publisher, and they just have all these unrealistic deadlines. I think Cyberpunk could have been a good game, but it just wasn't up to the people who were making it. And that shit sucks. And now there's a bunch of like distrust for CDPR. And that's a shame because I personally hope that they're able to pump out an insane Witcher 4. Time will tell.
Time will tell. I like Witcher, so
yeah.
Well, let's keep tabs on that.
Oh yeah.
What else we got?
The tab list. All right. Well, so next up, I mean, really, you guys just got back, if you think about it, from a pretty cool event. So I figured we could use this time to talk a little bit about TwitchCon.
Let's do it.
And I think they did announce TwitchCon next year is in Rotterdam.
Yeah, it's going to continue to be Rotterdam for EU. It was last year or this year.
Okay.
They're locked in Rotterdam for 3 years and also San Diego for 3 years, I believe.
Okay. So, but I figured, hey, let's take some time and you guys can kind of recap what you liked at TwitchCon, people you got to run into, and some go over kind of what you did.
Go ahead, Slum.
So me and a couple partners of mine went there with a goal in mind, and we attacked it pretty hard. So it was good. As a consumer of TwitchCon, I don't know, man. I'm kind of let down a little bit. I want to see cooler booths. I want to see more groundbreaking. There was one booth that actually we both, like Markstrom already knew about it, and he was like talking about it. And then I didn't talk to him about it, but I went there as well. And I was like, dude, this is kind of sick. Like Markstrom would love this. And he was already like way ahead of me. So that was really cool. I liked that. It was like, I mean, should we say what it is, or is that a secret for later?
I gotta look into it more, but it is I'm just gonna say like it's a cool community based. It's a cool way to connect with your community while you're playing games, and so obviously that speaks to the kind of stream that we host. And I'm really hopeful that we can get it set up and it feels good and it adds like a cool aspect to the broadcast. So yeah, the guys who are running it definitely know what they're doing. They've been in the industry for a long ass time. One of the main guys, the guy who like made the whole thing, worked for Microsoft for 30 years. And yeah, so pretty cool to see him do his own thing and enter the space independently. And yeah, I'm pulling for him. So we'll look more into the tooling and see if we can make good use of it.
I think something else that stuck out to me was so there's certain business models that you can take, and one of them is, I guess it's just called white labeling. Like you could buy products from China or wherever and put your brand on it and sell it. And I saw two booths right next to each other that basically had that business model. But the difference in booth was one really embraced brand and being different and took pride in brand. And one of them was just this little booth in a corner that had like a white backdrop same business model, but they approach their branding and their confidence differently. So that was very interesting for me to see this brand really go crazy with their brand forward. Look at our booth. You see our full brand, our brand colors. There's guys talking. Like, they were really confident about it. And then I went over here, and this other booth has the same business model, but they were just like not confident, no branding at all. So it's just interesting that you can have the same business model, and there's so much more to being successful in a business than just having your product. It's more than that. It's the confidence to talk to people. It's the branding that you bring as well. It's being open to share your product with people. Like, this one company was actually giving side booths a couple of their products to use because it would help them at TwitchCon, and just lend them their product to use. And I could see that as I was walking by. So I mean, it's that stuck out to me in the business way. Other than that, we got to see our buddy Javi actually shoutcast. I never saw him before live on stage, so it was pretty cool seeing him live on stage.
He's nice with it.
Yeah, he's nice with it. And but I want to see more like groundbreaking tech. I didn't see a lot of groundbreaking tech this time. I don't know if maybe you saw something different, but that was my thoughts. Is like not much groundbreaking tech.
The thing that I was most impressed with really was just like the con floor itself and the way that things were set up for creators and booths and all like the different niche communities that exist on Twitch were really well served. I would argue that this is probably the best TwitchCon that they've ever put on as a convention.
Wow.
I've been to many, and most of the time it is a complete waste to buy a ticket to the convention. You are there exclusively for the people and for the events that happen in the evening. And this time around, I enjoyed my time on the floor. I enjoyed looking around. I felt like there were some meaningful things there, not just a bunch of booths trying to sell the dream to aspiring broadcasters. They did a better job having like a good mix of things. So that was hyped to see. And again, I think a lot of it is Dan Clancy. I saw him at even like the exclusive after parties in the evenings. He was at every single one of them. He knew where he was supposed to be, like the spot. He was there every time, hanging out, talking to broadcasters, picking their brains, enjoying himself. Like, he's there to have fun and also to try and get as much info as he can to make the platform better. And that's hype.
He wasn't just at the ones that you were at either.
Yeah,
like,
he's everywhere, bro.
He's everywhere.
He has a strict schedule. He's splitting time. He knows what's going on. Bro. Shout out Dan Clancy, bro.
And the guy's old, and he gets up there like he's got energy for days. That was mind blowing. Like, the last night that we were at, I was at a place before I went and met up with you. Saw him at that place, and then the second place, I was falling asleep at the end of the night. And this guy was just going balls to the wall still. I'm like, dude, you're like 70. How the heck do you have this energy?
I know how.
How?
Bro, the minute I saw him out on the street in the middle of the day, in Paris, jogging.
Really?
In the full getup, like the old man jogging getup, getting after it.
Like tight spandex stuff, or like
awesome
sweatsuit?
Yes, the tight spandex. It was like the neon colors. It was hype. And he had, I shit you not, he had headphones on, and they were like the over the head, like thin ones that go, they have like the little knobs on the end, and like he had that. He was popping, awesome, dude, yeeting down the street.
Wow.
And I saw that, and I was like, that's what it's about right there, bro. Yeah. Despite being here for work, he's still the guy who knows what he has to do to maintain that energy level at his age, and for him to think critically about things, like, all related, all crucial. Really gave me a lot of confidence in him to begin with, and I'd say he's continued to show up time and time again.
We should invite him to a workout next time we go.
We should. It'd be nice.
Everyone that I was in an Airbnb with two other guys, and me and Markstrom usually hit a workout bright and early when we go to TwitchCon. And they were like, dude, you're getting up that early to go work out? I'm like, yeah, it's when you have to do it. Like, when
else are you going to do it?
I'm not taking a break midday or at night to work out.
Right.
Like, we'll do it before everyone else wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get Clancy in there next time, dude.
I like that.
Push it to the limit.
We can do a nice little live from the gym.
Oh, dude.
Live from the gym with Dan Clancy in the morning. Get a little workout in, shoot the shit.
Let's do it, dude. I think we can actually make that happen.
100%.
Let's freaking do it, dude. Next time.
Let's get him on the pod.
He would also come on the pod. Yes.
Get him on the pod.
Get him on the pod. All right.
What else? So for me, something interesting that I saw. So I'm going there to meet creators and possibly have affiliates and partners for the coffee brand. And we had this gigantic list that we talked to people and we made a list. And it seemed that 95% of the girls that we have on this list were also making content on other websites. If you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
So that was just kind of like mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge it's interesting because that industry has paved the way for live streaming 100% since the dawn of time. Every ounce of technology, every like video hosting website, YouTube exists because of porn to begin with. And I'm not saying they're all doing porn, but that industry is like why video hosting online and all that, like they are always the ones who are innovating the tech to facilitate. And so shout out first and foremost. I wouldn't be doing this for a living if it wasn't for that industry, deadass. But it is 100% live streaming is the best billboard for what they do. It's the best marketing that they could have, especially when you are forming loads of, poor choice of words,
forming loads. You heard it here first, dude. Functions forming loads, dude.
Of loads of parasocial relationships. And I think like that are very easy to capitalize on in an industry where a lot of men are very poorly socialized. It's you know,
also,
sorry,
it's blue ocean strategy. Like
you know,
if you think about it, it like
really is.
You're not going to stand out on OnlyFans, right? I'm just going to say the goddamn website where we'll skirt around it, but you're not going to stand out on OnlyFans.
There's more than just that, dude.
There's 50 of them, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to stand out on those sites, right? Everyone on those sites is delivering that same style of content.
Right. You need your hook.
If you can stand out on Twitch, then it's a great funnel to get you onto your other
best funnel by a mile.
Another, you form your load and put it right into that funnel. Another thing that I thought was very interesting. I walked past the meet and greet section. Big, ginormous line for this creator. And I was like, who is drawing this crowd? So I got a little closer, and it was a TV screen with an anime girl on it.
It was a VTuber.
It was a meet and greet with a VTuber.
It was awesome.
They had a TV.
I saw it.
So I'm thinking like, dude, the VTuber model is awesome.
They're killing it, dude.
Anyone could be wearing the stuff.
Yep.
You don't even have to be there.
It's amazing. You can do it remote. I'm sure some of them did it remote.
100%. But I'm saying you don't even have to be on stream. You could hire 2 people and you never have to stream again because it's not you. It's just filming the person with the mocap, and that's
what you need is a voice modulator that's trained on your voice.
And most of them have that.
So
most of them have the voice modulator. Genius. So I was talking to a guy who put together VTuber party. And no one knew who anyone was. He's like, that's the only way we could do it. Like, everyone loves to be anonymous. And I was like, but you got to know from like mannerisms and stuff like that who like the big ones would be. And he said he figured out like 1 or 2 of them, but no one knew who they were. And he said it was awesome. You could send someone like you never have to. You make a stream and you can just hire someone to be your.
It's like a faceless
VTuber
YouTube channel,
bro. Genius.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
The meet and greet, I was like, These fans are dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dude. Oh my
That's one word
gosh.
for it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm
word.
not. It's a good word.
I
think they should
went
put
to
a
a
watch
VTuber
list.
party on Friday night, and
That was probably the one
yeah.
that I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. And they, my buddy, I had a buddy that was also the photographer for this party,
Okay.
and it was one of those things. It's like the other company that sponsored it, like, got a photographer, but like, it's a VTuber party. Nobody wants their picture taken, so he had to like, hey, would you like a picture before he took anything? Because otherwise, like, you have to go through it all. You have to check everybody. Like, there are a lot of creators who are not in anything ever, and like, it's a whole thing. So, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting, the VTuber space. But it's cool that they have an event that they can go to and hang out and be anonymous and enjoy themselves. And, you know, if they're with some friends that do know each other, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying though, you go to a VTuber meet and greet and you're talking to a screen the whole time. you need to be put on a fucking list.
Dedicated.
That is.
They're dedicated, Abe.
Crazy.
Bro.
Oh
It's
man,
absolutely
What I'm
crazy.
saying, man. It's like
They
I
probably
think
paid for a ticket for that.
for me, harmless. Let them enjoy it.
okay.
It's a victimless crime.
They're the victims, dude.
Yeah, they're the victims.
Yeah.
What about? So here's the last thing I'll say is, before this year it was harmless, but now me, Javi, and Clay are like going around and we're sitting in the partner lounge like talking and how we normally talk, and you could be on camera and you never know.
All the time.
All the time, dude.
All the time.
And you know me, I drop some words that might not be
It's not
completely acceptable.
You're not allowed to stream from the partner lounge.
It was outside of the bar.
Gotcha,
It was
okay.
that other little place.
But there are like there are a lot of
I'm bringing it back, dude.
bathroom streams all day.
Yeah,
Actually, you're the guy who just like does like the towels and the soap and he's got some fragrances and you're just live streaming that. That's actually kind of a sick idea.
That's a great
I would
idea.
watch the shit out of that.
This bathroom, they got the live button above the bathroom. Don't come in there unless you're cool with it.
Oh, you can have a dedicated bathroom for that. That's a great idea.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only bathroom
On stream,
I'm going
say
into,
what's
dude.
up. They should have the chat in the mirror.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those. I'm trying to make it nice, dude.
Dude,
This is a good idea.
It's an experience.
Dedicated, and you get the same fans that you get at the VTuber meet and greet. That's for sure.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Oh, but I mean that was it, man. I had a great time. And it's just cool to
We filmed some fun content for Cafe Kayaza, so keep your eyes out for that. That'd be good.
We did film some cool content, and it's just cool to. It's cool when you're talking with people and your buddies are also doing things. You know, like you roll with a crew of people that are doing things. Like when I introduced Markstrom, like Markstrom's killing it. He's not only killing it on stream. Like if we talk about a video game, like Markstrom's literally the best at that video game. Like so, it's cool when you can talk to people and all your buddies are going for stuff because it just makes everyone want to be better and do more.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this a lot. Like, it always feels good to go to these conventions with like people who have industry ties, like Slum or Teddy, as a creator, because it's cool because I can introduce creators to them. They introduce industry people to me. It's all like, you know, it feels like very organic and natural and just like this fun network of people who just want to like make and do dope shit. And that's nice. Because we also kind of know, like, oh, this is a good fit for this person, because we know each other's personalities really well. So it definitely makes life easier. It makes the conventions obviously more beneficial to go to, and just an overall better time. So it's nice, man. It was a really good con. Had a blast.
Yeah, we got to tap into that VTuber market.
What you need? Yeah, dude. I got some ideas. We'll talk.
Last thing though. There was a motion sensor company, and I don't know if you know, but that was just another drop ship white label type stuff. Like, but there was a guy all 3 days with his goggles, with his motion sensor, and then a vertical TV next to him, doing the movements for 3 days, dude. Just being an e-girl and getting on his knees and showing the motion. And I was like, this guy, dude, this guy's in there right now. He's doing it for 3 straight days with his motion stuff on and just being that character, man. Good for him.
Oh, the cat girl guy.
The cat girl guy.
Love that,
dude.
He was killing it.
I like to see when people are invested into their companies. So it's nice that a lot of times with these smaller companies, you'll actually meet the people who are like in charge. And that's cool. But then when it gets a little bigger, you kind of just mean reps and stuff. Like when you go to GamerSupps or G Fuel.
Yeah, I mean, like anyway. who would have thought that? Like I talked to that random thing that caught my eye. I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I built out like the driver hooking for Microsoft for the last 30 years. I was in charge of that." Like, all right, dude, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
you never know.
Never know, dude.
Pretty cool.
All around good trip. Good trip.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What else we got?
Well, this is a little bit of a follow-up to that, but when you were there, did you happen to get any insight on the Subtember algorithm? Because what we've seen on stream during the subathon so far is that Twitch might have made a mistake here, and I have a feeling their bottom line's going to hurt them a little bit in October, because right now, well, not right now anymore, I shouldn't say right now, it has ended, but over the past couple of days, what they've been doing for subathon this year is gifting additional subs on top of gifted subs, and it appears that the algorithm, though they quote unquote say it is working as programmed, which is not intended, the key there, has been doing stuff like people have been gifting 5 subs, and we've been seeing 25 gifted come from Twitch, and we've been seeing 50 plus subs on 100 gifted, and it just feels like somebody broke an algorithm somewhere, and Twitch realized it too late and felt like they couldn't fix it.
I would need to see one piece of data, but I'm going to err on the side of it was all on purpose. I would like to see what's the percentage of people who get gifted that sub again. So if that percentage outweighs the amount that they're giving away, then simple, give
they definitely track and do all that, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, and on the back end, and the guarantee is also that, you know, like I know the guy who makes like the stuff, who determines like who gets gifted subs when it's like trying to pick and choose. And we were talking about it the other day, and one of our community members was saying like he never gets gifted, and another one was like, I get gifted to random channels all the time. The difference is this other person, the person who gets gifted, gifts a lot of subs. And it's to people that he's never watched, he doesn't follow. They are picking from people who gift a lot of subs just randomly, and that gets prioritized from time to time. So like these things are 100% tracked and paid attention to. That being said, based on the way that they marketed Subtember for this last week where things changed, they absolutely did not intend this level of coding. Like, not in a million billion years, my friend. They were looking at 1 bonus sub for 5 gifted. Maybe. Not maybe, but like maybe you could do a little bit better than that. When I got a 5 gifted subs and saw 28 gifted from Twitch as a result, I said to myself, hold on. I don't think that's right. Chat, we're going to have to take advantage of that this week. This shit's broken. When we got 100 banger, 48 gifted subs from Twitch. And it's like, they are paying out my split on those, like,
and they're losing ad revenue.
Yeah,
that is correct for those for the people who tune in and would have seen the ads.
Correct. Yeah,
they pay out ad revenue to me if someone is subscribed to the channel, regardless if they see the ad, and because they're here and they're subbed. And they
also lose the ad revenue that just in general for Twitch, that all their ads that people watch that are not subbed.
Yep.
So that's a guy that would be just watching an ad.
They're losing on 3 fronts for literally every sub. And to gift in that capacity was reminiscent of the first Subtember that crippled the shit out of them and started this crazy chain reaction of, oh shit, we need to make money. That's what started all of this. It was BOGO subs. That was the first Subtember was BOGO subs.
I think
Crazy.
it was on purpose. I think everything was planned.
I have a theory.
Yeah, so the only way that it makes sense is Valorant did sponsor the event. And it was called Valorant's like Subtember, whatever the... Okay, fine. If they got an insane check from Riot, they were like, let's just make the shit go dummy. Maybe. Yeah. But, man, dude, 28 subs for 5?
You don't think they could just flip it off? If they're like, whoa, turn that off.
I think they would have had to repro. I think they wrote.
They're not.
My theory.
The company is way too big. They cannot turn it around in a week. It's way too much red tape bullshit. I know for a fact that every single team at Twitch does not communicate with each other effectively. I have been told by that internally 100 times. They do not do anything quickly, and what it comes down to and why I think they goofed it is their wording on, they literally had to put out a tweet after like the first day and everyone's like, what is happening? They put out a tweet and they were like, it's working as programmed.
I would have just
not working as intended, not programmed as intended, but it's working as programmed, as in we're letting it ride.
They should have just said, you're welcome.
I agree.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I agree. That's the right answer. But they essentially admitted guilt from the way that I read this, as in like, oh yeah, this is working as programmed. By the way,
if you just look at what it's doing, I have a theory. My theory was that they programmed it to essentially, when there was a gift of 5 or more subs, to trigger some kind of dice roll that says we will gift an additional 0 to X subs. And then what happened was that was supposed to apply on it like once on a 5, twice on a 10, etc. And I think what happened was they accidentally programmed it so that it was triggering that dice roll off of each sub that was contained within that tranche of gifts.
Correct.
So instead of rolling 1 die for 5, it was rolling 5 die for 5, thus creating what we were seeing on stream.
That's I 100% agree with that theory. I think that is likely what happened, and yeah, it's hilarious, man.
Yeah. I think they gifted over 730
They did something
subs.
Right, dude.
Yeah, we in our channel in that week period, obviously we're doing a subathon, so we were able to take advantage of this. We received 750 subs ish from Twitch specifically.
That's insane.
So I'm about to have to give Twitch a VIP in the channel, dude. I don't know, like that's crazy. That's
good job,
holy
Twitch.
Shit.
Wild.
Hey, you know what they say? W. Dan Clancy, my man. He knows what he's doing, bro.
After 2 minutes after you say, no one knows what they're doing over there. Everyone's in their own little area.
Hey, he's trying. He's trying to bridge the gaps. Everything's coming up Millhouse with Dan Clancy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you, Twitch. You did something right. What else we got?
All right, one more quick one on the video game space, and we'll move into some other cool stuff. But I just thought this was cool and worth mentioning. Valve has a new FPS MOBA, third-person FPS MOBA called Deadlock, and they've recently done some updates to their anti-cheat engine within the game. And one of the cool things they added was that if you are detected as a cheater within the game, players get the option to then vote to either kick you from the game, or they could turn you into a frog. You lose all your abilities. You can just kind of hop around and you have a really low health pool, and then they get to continue to kill you throughout the game. So I even have a little bit of an example of what happens. But if you get detected as a cheater, this happens to you. You don't get removed from the game, and the other team just gets to kill you endlessly.
That is so funny. So what happens when this match ends?
I don't know what the follow-up to this is. I'm assuming you get VAC banned.
You just get banned, right? Surely.
Yeah. I would assume that's what they would do, but this is absolutely hilarious. What a great way to put these people on display and punish them, at least for some kind of duration. Lets people get retribution. I also believe that both teams can kill you. at that point when you're turned into a frog.
We have an anti-cheat so good in Deadlock that they can mess around and make someone a frog and let all this voting happen and make it like this really cool moment, right, for all the gamers. And meanwhile, for Counter-Strike, a 25-year-old game and literally the crown jewel of Valve outside of Dota, can't get an anti-cheat, and we have to use a third-party program to play the game with just in a legitimate fashion. Very cool, guys. Very cool. Thank you, Valve. Good stuff, boys. All right, sorry, go ahead. I'm not upset.
No, I just thought this was cool and a great way to punish these people and put them on display.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I like it a lot. Yeah, hopefully we can see the VAC ban after that. But yeah,
it's gotta be.
Yeah, and also like VAC bans on accounts like prevent you from getting into trusted queues for other games. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Love Steam.
Keep it up.
Love it.
All right.
What else, Abe?
All right, so moving outside of that gaming and streaming space, I don't know if you guys caught this, but we have another moon.
Yes, I did catch that.
So there's an asteroid, a small asteroid that has been picked up by the Earth's orbit, and now we have 2 moons, and now it's only going to last till I believe November 25th is what they predict.
Yeah.
Before it gets out of orbit again.
Yeah.
So it's not a permanent thing.
But it's old, but it's big enough to be considered.
Yeah, it's big enough to be considered a second moon now orbiting the planet.
Oh, moon number 2. How often do they say this happens?
It's very rare. Very, very rare.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like when the last time something like this happened.
I think most of the time, from what I was able to understand, is when they get picked up into the orbit like that, they get brought towards the Earth's orbit and, disintegrated in our atmosphere and things like that. So this is not, especially one of this size, to remain in orbit like that. Yeah. It's not very common.
Do we have a picture of this second moon?
I was trying to find that. Let me see if I can get another one. This has been like I've found a bunch of graphs that explain how this phenomenon was able to happen, but I haven't really been able to find. Let me see if I can get just a picture of the second moon.
So it enters our orbit and then it exits our orbit?
Yeah, it has like
Does it go around a couple times?
Yeah, it has a velocity, and because of its like size and speed, like eventually it'll get like out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the ellipses will end up getting far enough away, and then we don't have the same gravitational pull on it, and it just yeets out.
Oh, yeah, there's no real pictures of this. I'm finding a bunch of definitely fake ones.
What I'm afraid of is like you show a picture, and I'm just gonna be over here like, that's no moon. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't be good.
You know, you and a bunch of like oil riggers are gonna have to go up into space and blow it up with a nuclear detonation device.
We just launched it at Mars.
Time to start the rebellion, baby. Here we go.
It exits our orbit with direct trajectory towards another planet and just explodes it.
Yeah, we just yeet that bitch at Venus. Get wrecked.
That would probably not be good. I'm not smart enough to know the implications of that, but that sounds like it would be a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is essentially like the same slingshot mechanic that we use for, space travel in general. But
I mean, what besides this moon, because it's gracious enough to exit our orbit, what about things? I mean, there's totally chances that a gigantic asteroid just smashes us out of nowhere.
It's happened before.
It's happened before with the dinosaurs.
It's the dinosaurs, yeah.
Yeah, well.
One day, bro. I don't think we're gonna see it, Slum.
We're all just monkeys floating on a giant rock through outer space, man. It's just how.
Don't think about it too hard. It's gonna melt your brain, dude.
That's why we got to get to Mars.
That's why I just play video games and do my thing. You know what I'm saying, dude? I can't. If I think about that shit too hard, I'll have a conniption. Can't do it.
Is this moon gonna affect our oceans?
Is it big enough to have its own gravitational pull? It's a great call. I don't know.
It is not large enough to have any effect on anything like that.
Just massive waves for the surfers.
Oh, dude.
Double waves.
Just go shred the gnar for a couple of weeks.
Quintuple overhead. We're deep.
Shred the gnar, bro.
I hear you.
That's cool though. I'd like to see a picture of it, but like, does it look like our moon or does it look like a big asteroid? Like, that's what I'm interested in as well.
I'm pretty sure it looks like a big asteroid. And I believe they did say that you could actually see it if you have a powerful enough telescope. But
that's pretty cool.
Then why is it called a moon, though?
Chuck's a nerd. Maybe he can find it.
I think moon just describes like essentially a rock.
Yeah, it's a rock big enough. Yeah, it's just a size thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very cool, dude. I like moons.
I mean,
Well, if you like,
good.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna segue us, so go ahead.
Oh, you.
Well, I was gonna say if you like moons, they made another very interesting space discovery in that they found a tiny Earth-like exoplanet in the closest single star to Earth. Now that star is a red dwarf, and it's known as Bernard star, and it's 5.96 light years away. But they did determine that it is too close to that red dwarf to sustain liquid water, meaning that it's not habitable for life as we know it. But there are other exoplanets in that solar system, or in that system, they believe, and this is like it's just proving that in this infinite universe there are evidence of many exoplanets that are smaller mass that are similar to Earth, and that the chances of one of those being able to sustain life is pretty great.
Well, there was a second Earth. There was Earth 2. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. Did you guys know there was Earth 2?
Maybe get hit by an asteroid,
or maybe it just fell out of our orbit or something. There was Earth 2. Can you give that a Google?
I will.
Before I seem like Earth super 2. Crazy. Earth 2. What if there was just a battling civilizations?
Chat thinks this show got canceled.
What, Earth 2? Earth 2 definitely got canceled.
In January of 2023, NASA announced the discovery of TOI 700E, an Earth-sized planet orbiting in the habitable zone of a smaller star. This discovery was made.
That's not what Slum. I think Slum's suggesting that there was another planet in our solar system.
Next door, dude.
I'm not finding anything like that.
They didn't make the cut, bro.
Hold on. I have Kepler 542b, is often referred to as Earth 2, and was discovered on July 23rd, 2015.
Okay.
So that might be the one that you're referring to, and
it's super far away.
No, dude, it was right next door, man. It was a
1,300 light years away. Hell yeah.
1,400 light years away.
Nice.
How the heck do they see these things? That's wild. Like being able to see things light years away. I guess it's all just data, but how, like, they don't have telescopes that can see that far, right?
I mean, it's imaging.
What does that mean?
You have to like image, like you're not. How would we receive that data if we couldn't see it in one way or another?
How would we receive that data if we couldn't see it? I don't know. I have no clue. That's above my pay grade, dude.
It's telescopes, baby.
Telescopes can see light years away?
You ever check out the James Webb, dog?
That's insane. Isn't a light year the amount it would take light to travel in a year? Isn't that a light year?
Yes.
That's far. It's far as shit, dude.
The last name of a very popular Disney character.
That's also true. To infinity and beyond.
That's wild, man. Like, I don't think people comprehend how far that is. Light
it's so far that what we are seeing doesn't exist anymore a lot of the time.
Yeah, dude, they're burnt out.
But now we're pretty good at approximating, like, okay, is this far away? Blah, blah, blah. Like, this could have been the fate, that kind of deal.
Well, this one they discovered is only 5.96 light years away.
Yeah, I mean, that's like legitimately close in the grand scheme of things, so it's pretty interesting. I understand why they're hype about it.
Would you go to Mars and try to repopulate?
No.
No.
If I had no kids and was like, in the last like 10 years of like what I think would be like healthy enough life to do it, maybe.
Nah, we need you at military fighting age just in case the aliens come.
You give me a blaster?
Not sending an old guy up there, dude.
Do I get a blaster?
Space Force.
Yeah, you're way past the age, actually.
Oh my God.
You would get a blaster if you were young enough, but the cap's at 43, so you're
this is the same thing as the plugged-in discussion. Like, just leave me here. If the asteroid's coming, I'm gonna go right into its path. I want to be taken out immediately.
That blows my mind too. It's like, do we have anything ready to go if there's a gigantic asteroid just?
Yeah, dude, they're sending
Earth?
Bruce Willis up there.
That's true.
Oh,
that's facts.
Bruce Willis and a couple drills, dude.
We need to send Iron Man up there. Iron Man stopped a big asteroid.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Actually, it was a planet. said,
I
if you
wouldn't.
throw another planet at me. That was a badass line, dude. Love Iron Man. Rest in peace.
Damn, bro.
Bro, it's been years. Come on. Get the heck out of here, dude. He's in another movie.
I watched Marvel movies really late, so I didn't know.
Well, then I lied.
All right. Yeah, I mean, listen, we got Star Wars, dude. Just trust. It's gonna be fine. Same system that intercepts all the, potential nukes, ICBMs. They're coming. You don't think that could also do asteroids?
Yeah, but then you have another problem with all the mini ones just hurling.
Those burn up in the atmosphere. Yeah,
you nuke them, and then it's just the blast. Just
you gotta break them small enough.
I think you have to catch it and then send it back
it's
out.
It's like the kidney stone, right? Like you just blast it enough that you can pee out the rest of them.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like an ice pick or a water pick.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not an ice pick. You don't want to do.
Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on out there in space.
I don't know, dude. If we have to deal with Ubisoft much longer, I say just we let the asteroid hit. That's all I'm saying.
Send them to Mars, dude.
Oh, that would be nice.
They ain't getting to Mars, dude.
Yeah, they ain't breaking Atmo. They would have a hard time doing like the elementary school rocket project with like the little pump. You know what I'm saying?
They're crashing the car on the way to the launch pad.
Unlucky, dude.
Last thing, did we ever talk about StarCraft? Is that a bad game?
Great game.
Great game? Okay, all right. Because one of my buddies at work was like, I love that game. I was like, I'm pretty sure like people hate it.
No. I mean, the problem with StarCraft, so there's StarCraft and StarCraft 2. They're both great. It's just a super underserved competitive game. Like the esport is like very much so dying. It doesn't really continue to get developed or supported. Globally. It's like very minimal. Like the esports scene, it's like the same dudes that have been in it for like 10 years are still at the top of the game because they just don't have the fresh bodies to like push it forward. I think RTSs, which is the kind of game that it is, real-time scenario, they don't hit like they used to, and there just hasn't been someone that has been willing to take the risk of trying to find the right formula for a modern day RTS. So
yeah, I was gonna say like a next gen one.
Yeah, I mean it's Blizzard, like there's money behind it still, and like they could do something with it, but yeah, I think unfortunately RTSs are being left in the past. I think it's possible that eventually MMOs get the same treatment, but the fandom for MMOs is big enough that people just keep trying despite their complete lack of success.
Well, there's always been rumblings too that Blizzard might eventually do a StarCraft MMO and do like a World of StarCraft like they did with Warcraft, which could be very interesting.
It could be very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the IP is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the hook. You just got to actually make the game good too. Someone write them a memo.
We got a real-time fact check from
a real-time strategy. Yeah, sorry.
From Chuck or chat. Real-time strategy.
Sorry.
Real-time strategy. Dude.
This is the end of day 6 of my subathon. By the way, I'm live 24/7 right now and still doing plug podcasts. So shout out to the homies holding it down.
Anyway, that's been a wonderful podcast. And why don't we just wrap it with what we usually do? Markstrom, what do you got exciting that's going on right now? Anything, dude? Anything at all?
Live 24/7 in the flesh.
How's the bed been?
The bed's okay. I have a different mattress up here than I usually do. It's okay. It's not as good as the other one.
Why'd you switch?
It wasn't intentional. It's just we switched the rooms up when we had Liam. I just dragged the one that was convenient to drag up. Well, that's not true. I dragged the one that Alexandra told me to drag up.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was the wrong one. And I was just thinking like, this will probably be okay. And then when I laid on it for the first night, I was like, nope, this was not the right play.
Can we get you like a mattress pad for it?
We have a mattress. It's a bad mattress, and we have a mattress pad, but I took it off to bring it up the stairs because it's like, it's very heavy. It's a king. And with the mattress pad, it's like super awkward. I might bring it up and put it on, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know. But I don't like mattress pads because they're too squishy. They don't give you the actual support for your back. I'm afraid that I need some firmness. You know what I'm saying? Can't be too supple. Anyway.
Sleep on the ground.
We are live 24/7. We're doing a hardcore-a-thon. I'm playing hardcore WoW and hardcore Minecraft. If I die in one of the games, I have to switch. And chat has the ability for better or for not, to impact both of those runs in either a positive or a negative way. Let's just say that they've assassinated me in both of these games multiple times. And that is why we haven't made a whole lot of progress. We're here, though, in the flesh. There's 80 hours left on the clock. The stream ends when the timer runs out. We hit 60 in hardcore Minecraft, or hardcore WoW, Keck W, or we kill the Ender Dragon in Minecraft. And by the way, I've never played Minecraft in my life, so I don't even know how to do it. But I'm figuring it out one step at a time. So if that sounds interesting to you, come by twitch.tv/Markstrom. Doesn't matter when you tune in, I'll be here.
You also have to find that room with the parrots in it in Minecraft.
I'm looking. I did kill a couple of parrots today.
That's messed up.
I needed to see if they dropped anything good.
He killed a donkey too the other day. That one really hurt.
Donkey, that's feelings. Fine. The parrots you need to let them be, because at the end of the game they assemble in a room.
Right.
And they dance.
Oh, right. And that's how you get the Ender Dragon on your side. You actually don't have to kill it. That's true. Correct. I didn't think about that.
Yes.
Damn.
Anyway.
All right.
Abe, how about you, dude?
Well, no vacations for a little while, so I'll be around.
Let's go.
We're done vacationing in 2024, so be around for all that. I'm moderating the stream, quote unquote moderating, as chat likes to make fun of me. So you can find me over there taking part when I can. We're also doing this thing every once in a while where you can pay subs and you can get advice from people. And I've been giving some advice out to chat. I have to say, I think I've done a pretty good job so far.
You're changing lives, Abe. Dr. Abe.
People how to feed themselves. Yeah. We've got sleep schedules getting updated. So I think we're doing a lot of good.
Your brother plugged you. Too. He says you have a dual PhD in bullshit and doublespeak. So that's pretty exciting.
That's by the way, that's a lot of years of education. So that was a lot of investment.
I put a lot of time and money into that.
Exactly. And remember, people, no backseat gaming. If you're watching the Minecraft stream, if you do tune in, you will get timed out by myself or others that are moderating the chat. And the final thing I will say is that I believe that I'm also working on a little bit of a side project with this, in that the further that Mark does get into hardcore WoW, there is one enemy standing in his path, and that would be me. I am ready to duel him at chat's disposal to take him out so that he does not reach that goal and the subathon lives on. You can find all of that, though, over at twitch.tv/Markstrom.
If I have to mock Gora your ass to hit 60, I'm going to snap. Anyway, go ahead, Slum.
I got an idea.
What do you
got? Give me 2 seconds to entertain for 2 seconds.
You got it, bro. There is no chance that I let you kill me. There is no chance at all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Would just concept here.
I'm listening.
How many people do you think are size 10 Nike in your chat?
Well, I've met a few people. Chuck has children's feet, so I don't think it's him.
No, he's out.
He's definitely out. I would say probably a pretty good amount of normal size males are size 10 for sure.
So let's talk, and potentially, if you want to have an incentive for a shoe giveaway.
Oh shit!
Because I got shoes, dude, and
I
got bunions now, and I can't wear them anymore. So, and I got some pretty fire shoes.
Berks only, baby.
I actually think I have an 11 too. I think I have an 11 of some dunks. So let's if you're interested, maybe we could set up an incentive for a shoe giveaway.
That could be fun. Hell yeah.
Shoe giveaway?
Also, I have something very cool in my hands. It is a surprise.
Oh.
It's for Cafe Colazzo, and there's one thing that's actually specially dedicated for Markstrom. So moving forward, when we relaunch our new season 4, there's a lot of upgrades coming. And one of them is really cool, which I'm excited about. I can't wait to show you. The order you just got, it's not in a box yet, but I wanted to make sure you got some coffee. So that's coming now. And then as soon as we get everything, I'm sending you that, and it's going to be very exciting to watch you get it.
You had my attention.
That's what's coming with Cafe Colazzo. Other than that, we do this podcast every Wednesday unless Markstrom has a baby or Abe goes on vacation, and we have a great time doing it. And because we are graced with the presence of a slightly bigger audience than we usually are, what I want to ask you guys is, would you kindly subscribe to the YouTube? So if we can
On it.
possibly get a little link in there, if you are not subscribed to this YouTube, would you kindly subscribe to the YouTube and press the notification thingy? We'd appreciate it. So share this YouTube as well with your mom, with your dad, with your auntie, your uncle, with the cat, with the fish in the fishbowl. Who knows? They might see it on their YouTube list and click in, and they might hear us talking about Ubisoft, and they're like, "Yeah, I hate Ubisoft too." They might like it. So please subscribe, share, and also, if you are a Spotify listener and you enjoy Spotify, you can follow us on Spotify too, and you can see the videos there as well. You guys wanted me to update Spotify. Now it's updated every week. We're live. But obviously, you always get it quicker if you tune in live. So that's every Wednesday. We have a great time doing it, and we want to share it with as many people as we can. So this has been another wonderful episode of the Plugged Podcast, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Deuces.